Have you ever felt like, no matter how much you give, people still take you for granted, like your kindness is being mistaken for weakness? What if I told you that the only way people will truly value you is if they fear losing you? Stick around, because in this video, we're going to break down why people take advantage of you, how to shift the power back into your hands, and most importantly, how to make them feel the cost of underestimating you. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll never look at relationships the same way again. Before we dive in, if you're ready to step into your power and stop being taken for granted, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. Section 1. Why people only value what they fear losing. People don't appreciate what they think will always be there. That's just human nature. When someone believes they can mistreat you without consequences, they will, every time. Think about it. Have you ever been in a situation where you gave your all to someone, whether a friend, a partner, or even a coworker, and they barely acknowledged it? That's because they never had to earn your presence. They assumed you would always be available no matter how they treated you. But here's where everything changes. The moment you become scarce, they start to feel the void you left behind. And that's when they finally understand your worth. So how do you make this shift? Let's talk about boundaries. Respect comes from boundaries. Listen to me. You don't demand respect, you command it. And the way you command it is by setting boundaries. If someone gives you the bare minimum and you accept it, guess what? That becomes your new standard. They have no reason to do more. The truth is, people respect what they have to work for. So stop giving unlimited access to people who haven't earned it. Instead of arguing about how they treat you, simply remove yourself. You don't need to explain, justify, or convince them to do better. Your absence will say everything they need to hear. And if they don't notice, that's your answer. They were never meant to stay. But what happens when they do notice? Let's move on. Section 3. Absence speaks louder than words. Here's something powerful. Silence is more effective than confrontation. Think about it. When you walk away without a fight, without a dramatic exit, it shakes people to their core. It's unexpected. It's unsettling. Because now they're left wondering, what happened? Why did they leave? And that uncertainty, that's what gets inside their head and lingers. It's human nature to crave closure, to fill in the blanks when answers are missing. But when you don't provide an explanation, when you don't give them a chance to argue, dismiss, or downplay your feelings, they're forced to sit with the void you left behind. Because as long as you're explaining yourself, you're handing them the power to reject, minimize, or rationalize what you're saying. But when you simply disappear, when your absence speaks for itself, it leaves an imprint they can't ignore. And that's when it hits them. Did I mess up? Did I take them for granted? Why do I feel this emptiness now that they're gone? But here's the key. Don't rush back the moment they start to feel regret. Regret is not change. If they truly value you, they won't just miss you, they'll take action. They'll prove through consistent effort that they've changed. And until that happens, keep walking. Section 4. Stop giving without them earning it. You've been taught that love is about giving endlessly, that if you just keep pouring into others, they'll eventually recognize your worth and appreciate you. But let me ask you something. Who's pouring into you? Relationships aren't supposed to be one-sided. They're meant to be mutual, balanced, and built on reciprocity. If you're constantly the one giving, your time, your energy, your loyalty, but they're not meeting you halfway, what does that say? It says they've learned to expect your effort without earning it. It says they've grown comfortable taking without ever feeling the need to give. And that's not love. That's dependency, entitlement, or worse, indifference. So here's the hard truth. Stop overextending yourself for people who do nothing to earn your loyalty. Stop exhausting yourself hoping they'll change, hoping they'll finally see your worth. Because if they haven't by now, maybe they never will. And listen, this isn't about becoming cold, bitter, or shutting people out. It's about being wise. Wise enough to recognize that real connections are built on mutual effort, not one-sided sacrifice. Because the love, respect, and energy you give, you deserve that back too. Section 5. Never let them think you're waiting. If someone thinks they can treat you badly and still have access to you whenever they want, Why would they ever change? You need to make it clear. You are not an option. You are not waiting around for them to figure things out. You move on. And when they finally realize what they lost, it will be too late. Section 6. The greatest revenge. Becoming someone they can't reach. You want to know the ultimate lesson for people who took you for granted? Success. Level up. Become the version of yourself that they wish they had treated better. Because trust me, when they see you thriving, when they realize they no longer have access to you, that's when the regret hits the hardest. And by then, you won't even care. Phony and Kiwe. Here's what I want you to take away from this video. Stop proving your worth to people who refuse to see it. Your time, energy, and love are valuable. Give them to those who appreciate them. And if someone takes you for granted, make sure they feel the cost of losing you. If this video spoke to you, like, comment, subscribe for more content on self-worth, stoicism, and relationships. I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong.